Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about a Lewis Hamilton admission that's been made, as well as an update on Valtteri Bottas. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with Lewis Hamilton. Now, as we know, there have been a few good moments in 2025 for Hamilton, such as his China sprint win and a few good P4 finishes, but overall it's not been the debut season Hamilton would have wanted with Ferrari. I mean, he sits 6th in the driver standings with 109 points, while teammate Charles Leclerc sits 5th with 151. And things did hit a low point at the last round in Hungary. I mean, in qualifying, Hamilton qualified in 12th place, while Leclerc took pole, and following qualifying, Hamilton repeatedly called himself useless and suggested that Ferrari change driver. Now, Ferrari is totally backing Hamilton and wants to help him improve, and Ferrari team boss Frederick Vasseur thinks it's a case of fine margins which have been hurting Hamilton and that he's not been getting the rub of the green. Vasseur told Automotor and Sport, as quoted by Planet F1, "Often it's down to circumstances, and Lewis has been on the unlucky side more often than not recently. In Budapest, he was ahead of Charles in Q1 and was only a tenth slower in Q2. He was 15 thousandths short of advancing. In the end, one is first and the other is 12th. Of course that looks silly, but it wasn't far off, and we would have ended up 11th and 12th place with our two drivers." And on top of that, Vasseur also feels that Hamilton sometimes has the habit of exaggerating the problems, with Vasseur going on to say, "We solve the problems step by step. They're not huge, they just look that way. If the braking system isn't quite how the driver would like it, then maybe half a tenth is lost there. From the outside, it's often difficult to quickly identify exactly where he's losing that half tenth. Such a minimal time difference can ruin your whole weekend. It can be the difference between Q2 and Q3. Lewis sometimes exaggerates the problems he sees in the car. The team then naturally wants to respond, and everyone jumps on this problem." But let's move on to Mercedes reserve driver Valtteri Bottas. Now, as we know with Bottas, he has been linked with a move to Cadillac, which is joining the F1 grid in 2026. And recently, it's been reported that Bottas is set to join Cadillac next year. I mean, Planet F1 said that multiple sources have indicated to Planet F1 that these talks have reached a common ground, and that while Bottas is yet to sign a contract, the Finn is in the final stages of reaching an agreement with Cadillac before putting pen to paper on a deal. So yeah, it does look like Bottas is going to be back on the F1 grid in 2026, but there's something interesting to note upon his F1 return. Basically, at his last Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi in 2024, Bottas picked up a grid penalty after colliding with Kevin Magnussen. Basically, the stewards said in their verdict at the time, car 77 was on the inside of car 20 on the approach to turn 6, misjudged his braking significantly and collided with car 20, which was entering the corner on the regular racing line. As car 77 retired from the race, the stewards determined that a grid drop is warranted, which is the equivalent of a drive-through penalty, and 3 penalty points are warranted due to the significant misjudgment of the driver. Now, the official penalty was a drop of 5 grid positions in the next race Bottas competes in. But because Bottas has not been participating in the 2025 season due to not having a drive, if his Cadillac move does officially go through, his next race will be the Australian Grand Prix in 2026. So does this mean he'll be taking that 5th place grid drop at the Australian Grand Prix next year? Well, this is an interesting one. Basically, a rule tweak by the FIA in the sporting regulations means Bottas's penalty will expire before his expected return. Article B1.10.4G of the FIA sporting regulations now states a drop of any number of grid positions for the next sprint race or race in which the driver participates in the subsequent 12-month periods. So that should mean Bottas's penalty expires at the end of this year, and he should face no grid drop going into 2026 if he's on the grid. But the FIA have confirmed that Bottas's penalty will stand. An FIA spokesperson told Racing News 365 currently the penalty will stand, as there's no mechanism to retroactively amend the penalty that was applied under the regulation in force at the time. The change of regulation is intended to avoid similar anomalous situations in the future. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.